Surprising turn this evening. Another wave of people popped in. So we're having to rush around and get them situated and stuff. First, this the equivalent of they need something to eat and clothes. Not exactly that, but the equivalent. They're like toddlers.
They're like what? They're behaving like toddlers, or they are like toddlers. Are they young, inexperienced?
Yes.
A bunch of young ones just showed up?
Yes.
Where did they come from?
We don't know.
Okay,
And they're running around like crazy. We're trying to wrangle them.
Okay, first of all, are they in one specific realm or everywhere? A little bit everywhere.
They're all over the divine realm.
A bunch of divine realm toddlers just popped out.
Yes.
Are they one kind of being, or are they lots of different?
No, there are lots of different kinds.
Okay.
Like, come back here, you need to eat, get some clothes on.
Okay, what you need to do? Okay, they want to play, they want to have fun, they want to go everywhere and do everything.
Some of them are just crying and screaming. And some of them are smearing stuff on walls, equivalent thereof, and it's just like get that out of your mouth! So imagine like 2 billion toddlers running around.
First of all, okay, I'm going to ask a very odd question. Have there ever been toddlers in Divine Realm before?
There were younger ones many, many eons ago. But we did it in a paced way. Not all at once. These therefore would be from different generations. But the 7th generation onward, they were taken out as toddlers. So there's like 7th generation toddlers interacting with 15th generation toddlers, and it's nuts. And they're bouncing off each other as like in a bouncy house.
What you need to do is, from each generation, okay? So you have the 7th generation toddlers. You can identify which ones those are, correct?
Sort of.
Find ones in the 7th generation or the 6th generation that...
6th generation would be better because those are the ones who took care of the 7th generation toddlers.
Then do like that. Have from the 5th or 6th generation, so it's like ones that are a little older, have one or two people-ish come in and assign them to take care of each toddler. So that
1 or 2 people for each toddler?
Yes. You need more than one adult, quote-unquote adult, at least 2 adults to take care of one toddler. So go to like the 6th generation and say, okay, we need 2 or 3 volunteers that can come in and help with each toddler. All right?
Okay.
And do that, and then like for the 8th generation toddlers, find 7th generation adults.
Yes.
And do like that pattern.
Yes.
And okay, and quickly assign them and have them sort of go out. If there's 1 or 2 that are particularly whatever, if you need to go up to a 4th generation or a 3rd generation to find people who can quote unquote parent and work with them, then they can do that.
Okay.
They have a minimum of 2, and they can make sure they have the quote-unquote clothes, food. They can create a little environment for them that's safe.
Yes.
And
yes.
That's how you're going to have to do this.
We're using clothes and food as an illustration.
I know, that's not literally. But they can create an environment that is just like what they did with the Baby Weaver.
Yes.
An environment that's safe where they can't create
too much chaos.
Too much havoc. And then after everyone is at their own little safe environment, with the ones who are going to be helping them through this process, some will be the cuddly ones for the crying ones.
Yeah.
That needs holding can be held. The ones that want to play can have their play. Yes, play, but also make sure they get some downtime. Work with them.
Yeah.
You will know the personalities. you're going to be able to figure this out fairly easily.
Yes.
Get everybody to their separate quarters, separate places, their little homes, keep them all sort of working out, and then once that is all set up and established, then we're going to need a couple ones who can go around and sort of monitor the situation. Like, you can even have like every so many of them, like say every 10 to 20 groups or toddlers, someone that comes in and they will check with all the ones who are doing the quote unquote parenting.
Okay.
To see if they need any help, any support. If the toddlers want to get together and play, they can have quote unquote play dates.
Okay.
And just sort of get it sort of monitored. But you can't have all at once bouncing off each other because that's just going to be insane.
That's what's going on right now.
So you have to quickly set them and say, okay, we need volunteers to parent one child now. If there are two of them that are like particularly close knit, like they're like sibling type knit. You know what I mean? They have two toddlers that have a close bond. Then see if they can find ones that are willing to take those two together.
Okay.
So if they have two that are really, really close to bond, and you try to separate them, and they freak out because they've been with each other for a long time, and they're bonded, don't break the bond. But basically do like that, and have ones that can work with them, but make sure they have at the minimum of 2 per toddler. Because one by yourself, the toddler works. You have to be able to take turns.
Okay.
And support each other. And if they need an extra one to come in as a support person, here they have what they call, babysitters or grandparents or other ones that can come in at times to give them little breaks. And work that out until you can figure out a more permanent way of dealing with about how many divine toddlers just showed up.
About 2 billion?
What on earth has been going on?
I said that earlier, about 2 billion.
Okay, but I thought that was like an exaggeration joke, not a realistic.
No!
You have 2 billion babies bouncing over the
whole divine realm.
You know that the archangel says, I'm not going up there. It's
Yeah.
sorry, above my pay grade, can't help. Quick, close the doors. If they try
Remember in that movie Soul?
Yes.
The little toddler souls
Yes.
running around? It's kind of like that right now. But a lot more chaotic.
Okay. Do you have any idea what happened?
For them to come back or for what took them out?
What took them out?
It wasn't the Whispering Ones. It was someone influenced by the Whispering Ones. Eons ago, said to wave into the divine realm that took these ones out.
Did you know that had happened? Yeah, or not really?
It was the first attack ever. I sort of knew, but I didn't. Everything was so new.
It was so fresh and new, and you were just in the building process. So, okay. So the one who did that, do they exist anymore?
No.
Okay. Is the process already starting with the...
Yes, the parenting, yes.
Okay, the parenting. That's a loose translation, but it's the best one I can... The concept is understood. Okay, I'm processing this.
Yes.
So the ones who returned the first wave returned to lots of different places.
Yes.
The ones who just returned in this wave, I knew there was a second wave coming.
Okay.
You could feel it.
It was a bunch of toddlers, the equivalent of.
Okay, but they were the ones that just came in, only returned to the divine realm. They weren't.
Yes.
The other realms didn't get a bunch of things.
No. It was only the divine realm.
But these ones were pulled out Eons ago. I mean, like before the universe of the souls was created.
Way before that.
So the first waves were the last ones that were taken out,
Yes.
and these are some of the early
First
ones.
And the whispering ones kind of worked backwards
Okay.
through time.
So they went basically back to the earliest place and pulled them out rather than...
When they were strong.
They identified who would create the biggest obstacles to who they were. Then they went back in time and took them out early on before they could do this.
Yes.
So, technically speaking, so the ones that first came back were for about the past 500 years.
Yes.
But even though, because this is a little timey-wimey here, they identified who was going to be their biggest obstacles, the ones that could bring them down or cause them problems.
Yes.
So what they did is they went back in time and took them out.
Yes.
But the point from which they identified them was not...
Was about 500 years ago.
Was about 500 years ago. So it's not like we're leapfrogging back and forth. They were time bandits, if you want to call it that.
Time assassins.
Time assassins.
That's what they became. That's not what they were originally made for.
But at some point, they realized, was it... Okay, this is going to be weird. Okay, we just watched a castle with a time storyline thing. And in this their timeline thing, there was a war that caused a lot of problems. And the bad guys wanted to go back and kill the people who were going to be able to win.
Yes, it's very much like that. Very much Terminator.
It's Terminator. They sent back Terminators to take out all these ones. So in the original timeline, the ones who were the divine realm were the babies who had fully matured and
Yes.
and they were able to fight against them.
Yes.
So they identified all the ones who were their biggest...
Who were close to me.
Who were close to you and their biggest...
Rivals.
Or the ones who could take them out and stop them from doing what they were doing. And they went back and got them when they were babies to prevent them from becoming the ones who could take them out.
Yes.
Okay. I am in this weird little place of trying to think now. Now, will these ones...
It's a good thing you like Doctor Who! To comprehend all the time travel shows. All the back to front and loop-de-loops.
Okay, here's something. Is there anyone who exists that knows who all these ones were originally? Who knows the original timeline?
Someone who knows the original timeline?
Knows the original timeline.
Yes, that's why she hates Mandela effects. Along with you and her work together and you know the original timeline. And there are a few others who know it too, like the one in the Infinity Point and Light.
So they know the original timeline. They know who these ones were in the original timeline.
Yes.
Okay, this is going to be a really... Okay, we're already in the world of bizarreness. This is a really bizarre question idea. We're going to do some timey-wimey here. So, do we... You've erased the Whispering Ones from existence.
Yes.
So that they've never existed.
Yes.
That's why this is happening.
Yes.
Will the original time? No, the original timeline won't come into play because they were in the original timeline.
Exactly.
But will the ones you had? Oh boy.
But the ones who have come back will play in this new timeline.
They will. Well, they starting over fresh in this timeline, and so they're not part of the original timeline anymore.
Huh?
Okay. Let me see. I'm just gonna make up. Say. Let me just pick out a name. We'll just call Big Dude. We're just gonna call somebody Big Dude, okay?
Okay.
Just a random Big Dude. Say there was somebody in the divine, who was Big Dude, and the original timeline Big Dude was very light, very strong, very much an advocate for divinity, and worked against the Whispering Ones.
Yes.
And was undermining all that they had been attempting to do.
Yes.
So, the Whispering Ones go back in time to when Big Dude was basically a fresh new baby.
Yeah.
And take him out. Alright. Now the Whispering Ones are removed from the timeline. So what they have done, they no longer, it's been undone. Everything they've done is undone. So then the baby that was originally taken out
is now here.
Is now returned, but they were not returned to the old point where it left. They returned to now.
Yes.
So right now it's a toddler that will someday grow into a Big Dude.
Yes.
It's like my own great grandfather. It's weird. Well, think if you have somebody who's like 7th generation, who was taken out at 7th generation, and then they come back here at this point, it's like, okay.
Because the Whisperers are still being erased from history.
They're still being removed from history. The process is...
It's going like this?
Yes.
So if they had come back at the 7th generation point where they were taken out,
then they would have taken them out again.
Yes.
So you had
So they need to come back in the safe spot.
This is the first place. This is the space where they're all coming to because this is the safe spot.
Yes.
Okay. But that means also that creation is going to be okay.
Yes.
Because creation at one point very recently was not going to be okay. Creation was going to collapse in and was not going to exist anymore. We were at that tipping point.
Creation is going. The fact that they're coming back to this point.
It means now that it's okay and it's going to be okay.
Yes.
But I'm talking not very long ago.
No, I know.
When the Whispering Ones were taken out, that's what tipped the point. Because they were tipping it towards taking out. And now we're tipping back this tip. We've crossed the tipping point line.
Yeah.
Oh, great. Okay.
So you can see why we're getting a little lost in the muddling?
Billions of babies popping out.
Yes! The divine baby boom.
It's the divine baby boom.
Heard the Big Bang? This is the baby boom.
And who has come back will have memories up until the point that
was taken out. Yes.
Like, okay, boy, it's a good thing we watch movies. Like the ones in Infinity War were all taken out, and when they came back in Endgame, they suddenly
were at the same place they left off.
Their memories, they were exactly where they were, whereas everybody else had progressed 5 years.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it's a good thing you like sci-fi movies.
All the ones who came back at the first blip. The first blip that came back, those ones are in the Oasis. They're acclimating.
Yes.
But they left as
adults.
They have lives. They knew other angels. They had angels and jobs and this and that. They were fully functioning
Adults. Yes.
So just for them, it's just simply an acclimating
Yes.
that it went on afterwards and it got really bad.
Yeah.
But we're now turned the corner, so now you're back.
Yes.
And these new ones were taken out when they were babies, so they couldn't get there. So we're getting them into homes or places where they can acclimate back in to society and to
that's a
divinity.
Term, but you know what
back
I mean.
into the divine mandala.
Yes.
But they're going back into the places that what the mandala's been looking for, what the mandala's been needing.
Yes.
And to help it to get to the balance and to where it needs to be. This is telling me that
it's going to get better.
It's going to get better. It's not better here now.
No, but it's
going to get better. Because creation has taken that past the tipping point.
Yes.
It's like when half of the angelic realm returns, and once they're acclimated in, then all the ones who were off won't be off anymore. And they will realize there was an undermining of everything and a propaganda that was put forward as to these are where our values are, these are the things we do, this is what's important to do. And it had infiltrated everything. So now when we realized that it was all lies and we identified what the lies were,
mm-hmm.
we were able to clean it out, clear them out, and move ahead.
Yes.
So this is going to allow, especially the angelic realm, to be able to clean out and clear out the quote-unquote values they were living by, or some of the
mm-hmm.
values that they were holding on to, because they now recognize it was propaganda that had killed, quote-unquote, killed half of their population.
Yes.
And they'll be like, those are some bad dudes.
Yeah.
We don't want nothing to do with them. When I knew the second wave was coming, that's why I came and asked about the second, if any more had popped in, because we knew a second wave was coming. I didn't know they were going to be babies.
We knew that because it got us a little bit prepared.
Things are calming down now, though, aren't they?
Yes.
They're quickly being taken to where they need to go.
Yeah.
Interact with and need to interact.
Yes.
Okay, there's an element here of parenting that's going to be important for these ones. These ones need to be shielded from the negative, bad stuff that has occurred.
That will not be hard.
Yeah. They need to live very innocent babies growing up in happy divinity without any of the negative.
Yeah, that will be easy to do.
Yeah. Because it's being taken out, and we don't want it to, what's going around now, to corrupt them in any way. And so they get a little bit of a corruption, and they hold on to it, they grow up and creates more problems later on down the road. We need to make sure that they stay very clean, very nurtured, they understand their needs and desires and wants.
Mm-hmm.
They may have to do a little remembering of, what was it like to be kids? We haven't had kids in a while.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know, it's been not even billions, not even trillions.
Multiple eons.
It's multiple eons. Back before there was physical. I don't remember what did we do before physical? Back when I was a kid, we didn't have planets. Yes, because the ones of the divine realm would have been. It's been, other than the baby weaver, it's been a long time since there's been, because all the newer creations have always been out from the divine realm, not in the divine realm.
Yes.
So, well, the baby Boomer was good practice then?
Yeah.
How could they take out...
We haven't figured that out yet.
But in order for them to do it, they must always do it in a time way. They had to be doing this with time. Because
Yes.
if you have, say, the Great Father, and the Great Father, something happens and he suddenly doesn't exist anymore,
Yeah.
everybody's gonna know it.
Yeah.
You don't not know this. You react to it. You're gonna want to find out what happened. There's all these questions.
Yes.
But whatever they do this. Okay, I am. Okay, this is what I am doing. Right now, it has become very important for me. It has become what I'm focusing in on right now is how they may disappear from our understanding that they existed. How they were able to pull them out of basically pull them out of time, pull them out of existence, so that we didn't recognize they weren't here anymore. This is this is what is I need to know. Where did the concept and the idea of doing this begin? How did it grow? Because
it took a long time for it to grow.
Because in order to be able to take someone and make nobody remember that they existed, that requires, that's a bit,
we're trying to figure that out. Just give me us a few minutes.
hold on a second. There's something that they had to be able to, I'm trying to make sure that there's no one else who
Can use this.
who was part of this.
Oh.
Okay, that's what I'm making sure. Because if someone possesses the capacity to remove somebody from existence without anyone knowing they even existed, if you have that capacity, then you cannot easily. We didn't know they were doing this until after we took them out. So that means if they have someone else that knows how to do this, we wouldn't know they're doing this unless we take them out.
Yes.
Okay. So, what I'm trying to see... Hold on a second. Let me just...
Because they would have had to pull the time streams out.
Yes, they had someone to help them work with time. Give me a moment, please.
Yeah, we're looking around trying to figure this out ourselves.
This is what I have gotten so far. There is someone that was working with the Whispering Ones that was able to work with times to accomplish this. It could not be accomplished otherwise.
Okay.
This one is of the second generation.
The second generation?
Of the second generation.
Oh my.
They did not do it with understanding. They were whispered to.
Oh. Is it another Weaver?
No.
Is it a Balancer?
No.
No, there's something else. Not a bouncer or weaver. There was a few more different things we made for the second generation.
Okay. Which one in the second generation appears to be, others have felt was the least crazy?
I know exactly who you're talking about.
Because it'll be the one that appears to be the least crazy, because all of the weavers and all the ones that were buying deeply into divinity and maintaining divinity would appear crazy because of the...
We're not taking this one out. We're going to go get them some intense healing.
Yes, they're going to need some intense healing. They've been manipulated.
Yes.
They have been strongly manipulated and taken advantage of. And
yes, we know exactly who you're talking about.
Okay.
This one was their advocate.
Yes. I will explain it this way. Propaganda, if it's pervasive, can influence an entire society. Even people who are good in heart and are trying to do good things can succumb to propaganda because they believe that they're doing the right thing. And the way the Whispering Ones work, it became more and more pervasive, and people can believe that when they take something out, it's actually making things better. So you know who it is and what needs to be done.
Yes.
And I don't, at this point, think that there are others, because the Whispering Ones would have been cautious.
Yes.
You would not want to pull too many into the fold, as to say.
Yes.
Because if they did, then it would be too easy to
find out about it.
Yes, to be found out. You have to take care of all these different personalities. And what if somebody did this or somebody did that? And then if you start taking out ones of your own group, then there's going to be problems.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness, this is like...
insane?
No, it was insane.
It
is now getting fixed. It was. When everybody was telling me this is okay and this is how we have to do things, and now that was insane. Because when I cracked last year and I was telling you guys, no, that was insane. This is nuts. This is just nuts, and at least in the divine part here. On Earth, that's insane. But what you're getting now, this is just nuts, but we're divine ones. Nuts, we're okay with nuts.